So we got some breaking news. The New England Patriots have signed All-Pro and former Cowboy running back Ezekiel Elliott to a 1-year, up to $6 million contract.
So I want to know, did the Patriots make a good move here in signing the former All-Pro Cowboy running back Ezekiel Elliott?
Yes, I think it was a good choice. Particularly how they played in their preseason game. My God, that was awful. I mean, Rhamondre Stevenson didn't play, but the other running backs that back him up did, and they looked terrible. Maybe that was because the offensive line wasn't opening up any holes, but they need somebody else to help Stevenson, and I think Elliott is a good choice. Particularly given he scored 12 touchdowns last year, right? He's a very good short yardage back. He gets that yard or two that you really need, and when it's third down. So I think that he'll be a plus for the Patriots.
I completely agree, and this is one of the things that I said. I said if the Patriots don't go out and get a good running back outside of what? Zeke and Dalvin Cook, if they decide Leonard Fournette or Darrell Henderson Jr., this is a complete mistake. In the past 2 years, he has a total of 22 rushing touchdowns and 1,800 yards, a little bit more than 1,800 yards. So on paper, it's actually a great pickup for the Patriots because the whole point of this signing, I think, was what I thought would work out. Belichick wants to go to probably a heavy run game with a complementary game of passing because I don't think he fully trusts Mac Jones and his ability. So what's going to happen most likely is they're going to do some sort of two-back system, especially in the red zone because their red zone was ranked 32nd last year. And they're going to have Rhamondre Stevenson running back one. And then what's going to happen is when they get to third and short and on the goal line, that's when Zeke's going to come in, and that's when Zeke's going to eat because his yards per attempt has drastically decreased year after year after year, and his yards per game have decreased year after year after year. Is he still a running back one? No. Is he still a running back two? Yes. Is he a very effective running back two? For sure he is. And I think Rhamondre Stevenson and then backing up with Zeke, especially to be that third and short to red zone guy, works really, really well. But the question is he going to perform? I think that's the big thing here. And a lot of people say that Zeke is washed, and I can understand why some people would say that. But I think it's unfair. He's only 20. He's going to be 28 years old this year. So, I mean, in reality, actually, no, he just turned 28. I think this is an absolutely amazing move. The question is, and then by the way, we have a react. This is what Zeke posted on Twitter. What happened? 1-5 all the way live at Patriots because he is going to go back to his. I think he played for Ohio State in college. He's going back to his Ohio State number. So he's trying to live in the past a little bit, and hopefully, you know what? If he lives in the past and puts up another 1,600 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns, having 108 yards per game, I'm going to be satisfied with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, anybody would be, but I'm pretty sure he won't get that because he's not going to get the kind of number of carries that would allow him to get that kind of yardage. He's going to be number 2 back. He's not going to be the number 1 back. So, unless Stevenson gets hurt, which I hope not, because I'd say the Patriots are thin at running back.
I would agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
So they needed this. And I think Zeke can catch a pass out of the backfield, too. He's not that bad at catching passes, so he could have some surprise factor when they bring him in on third and short. They might just flip it out to him in the flat there, and he pick up the yards that way.
I mean, the reality is, Belichick didn't go out and get a tremendous receiver. He got Juju Smith-Schuster, who for some reason they paid more than the Chiefs to go get him, and they decided to give him N'Keal Harry for the exact same price. And Jacoby Myers. And Jacoby Myers was Mac Jones's security blanket, especially on third down. That's who Mac Jones looked to. And you decided to replace him with Juju, and then you also extended Devontae Parker, so you couldn't go out and maybe pay what Dalvin Cook may have been looking for, or a D-Hop, pay D-Hop what he could have been looking for, which turns out wasn't even that bad of a contract. So you needed to get a running back cheap, and I said, Zeke already made his money. Now the question is, does he still want to play in the NFL? Because I think that was the big thing here. Because if Dalvin Cook's looking to make money, which I think, truthfully, he probably is looking to make money, the Jets are probably going to pay him his pretty penny, or he could be using the Jets as leverage to get Miami to drive the price up for him.
Are you surprised he's not signed yet?
I'm actually not that surprised because I do think he was using the Jets as leverage and promoting, oh my God, what
Miami.
Jets are going to be a super team. If I join them, they're going to be a super team. And then Miami's going to be like, okay, we may lose him. We got to pay more for him. So I think I saw that rumor somewhere.
Still not signed, though.
He's still not signed. So I think, he's going for the money. Zeke was more so going to continue his playing career because I think everyone in the NFL saw that, he was probably on a steep decline and wasn't looking to be running back one material on most teams.
Maybe he thinks this can be his rebound year.
Maybe.
That's why I signed a 1-year deal. He can sign a bigger deal next time.
I'm not too sure about that, but what I'm looking for here is Belichick's trying to go old school. Heavy defense, which the defense against the Texans looked really good up until a point. Then, Davis Mills and Case Keenum decided to rip that defense apart, but albeit they were second stringers. But Keon White against that Texans offensive line and against C.J. Stroud came up big early in that game. So my guess would be Belichick's going heavy defense like he usually does in drafts and running game. Because I don't think he trusts Mac Jones entirely, which I think is somewhat fair, but honestly mostly unfair with Bill O'Brien's system. But the offense in that first preseason game did not look good. It looked exactly like last year. Screens and a lot of runs and one or two occasional deep balls.
The runs didn't amount to anything. They couldn't. They get one or 2 yards out of them. They were really bad. But I think that was more the offensive line players were out there were not people that are going to make the team. Actually,
I saw a report today. I have the unofficial depth chart right here. One of their tackles, or is he a guard in this? City So, who got absolutely smoked in the preseason game. He is currently battling with another one of their pickups to potentially be a tackle, I think. City So and Connor McDermott, who both had trouble in the preseason. That's my note. 75 and 61 had a horrible time stopping the pass rush, and that was Connor McDermott and City So. They're fighting for a spot right now between them two. But City So actually is moving around. They're trying to find a good piece for him. In the first preseason game, he played left tackle. Now he's playing right guard, which I don't know how that's exactly going to work behind Michael Wenu or Cole Strange, either one of those guard positions. But if City So is still going to be on the team, we're going to have to wait and see. That'll mainly be a depth piece, but he did not look good in that preseason game. So if the offensive line, and that's probably I'm not going to say the biggest problem, because I do think having a separation wide receiver one is probably the most important thing for Mac Jones and for the Patriots offense. I'm going to say the offensive line is that next glaring hole. They don't really have a tremendous offensive piece. They have David Andrews as a center. Trent Brown, he's a huge unknown. They paid a decent price for Trent Brown. He was supposed to be really, really good, and he just didn't perform at the level that people were hoping.
Yeah, he's in better shape this year, apparently.
No, yeah. So we should be expecting things, but he's not really practicing that much with the Patriots. I guess he's dealing with some sort of injury. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But if the offensive line isn't any good, Mac Jones can't stay in the pocket for that long, which that's a huge problem. And you can't run the ball. So the offense, like I said, Bill O'Brien could draw up a perfect play, the greatest play in NFL history. If Mac Jones can't, throw the ball in time for the play to develop, it's a wasted play. It's a complete wasted play. So, but that's what Belichick does. Running backs, defensive players, and offensive linemen. That's kind of what he keeps going with throughout the entirety of each draft. And the occasional wide receiver that becomes a bust. Although Kayshon Boutte and Demario Douglas, they seem to be.
They didn't play. Demario Douglas didn't get a chance to really play in the
I think he played
game.
1 or 2 snaps, and he actually broke open late for a touchdown. It could have been, but the ball got thrown way before Douglas had a chance to break free. But I saw some in the all 22. Demario Douglas did break free, which could have been a touchdown for him. But no, I don't think he got a single target in that preseason game. So what I'm looking for, I like this pickup. 3rd and short and goal line. Try to help that Patriots red zone. I think that'll be big for this season. And you know what? While, yes, he may not be running back one material and go for 85, 90 yards a game, if he goes for 30, 40 with a touchdown here and there, mostly there, I'm completely fine with that. Completely fine with that. But, of course, we'll have to wait and see. And we'll have to wait and see if Zeke actually, performs. But, 1,800 yards and 22 touchdowns in 2 seasons, I think that's pretty promising, especially if he's going to be only your backup running back and not even your running back one.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.